right. Sorry, guys, we're having a little technical problems. Just give me a second. I'll get everybody in. Raine, are you there?
I'm right here. I did an intro, but I don't know if anyone heard me.
Yeah. Welcome to the Psychic Coffee Shop. Just give us a second to get everything together. Now, Raine, we've had a few meltdowns, and we've done this before. Hell, we've been on for a decade.
Yes, we were just talking about that earlier today, and so we're a little bit used to it. In case anyone didn't hear me before, you know, Mercury's in retrograde. Things like this are bound to happen. Just be patient with us.
Be very patient with us.
Exciting night. We have a special guest, and so we're very, very excited about that. And just hold on, because Aeson, the tech master, he can overcome Mercury anytime.
Oh, yes. All right. So we do have some hot topics tonight. By the way, I'm Aeson Knight, and tonight with us is Miss Raine Love sitting in again. I'm so glad to have her back. I prefer to have her off. Now, we're going to have a new host joining us, Amanda Dow, for those that don't know, Messengers of Light. She will be pulling in and, you know, helping us and, you know, taking on some shows with us, which I'm so glad.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, so that's going to be fun. You know, I've co-hosted with her and been a guest over there and different things. So she'll be on starting the 25th. And let's see. And, of course, Raine is going to be picking up some extra shows here, thank goodness. And Miss Sophera Light's going to be working on some other projects. And we're happier for her to do that.
You know, it is all about change, and you can always find all of us anywhere at different times.
Mm-hmm. Different times, different places. And, you know, our first hot topic tonight is to do with some interesting things. Let me get our, now, you know, we do have a guest joining us tonight. It's Marie St. Louis, and we're going to bring her on.
Yes.
Hi, Marie.
Well, hello. How are you doing?
Better now that we got everybody back on board.
Well, I want to say hello to you both and also to the listeners tonight. I know we had a little difficulty, but things happen, right?
Things happening, especially here at Blog Talk. I mean, it's always something new happening. We've gone through changes and upgrades and users not being able to log in. You know, this stuff happens, and it happens on every network. It's just sometimes, you know, you guys get it raw here from the presenters and everything else, you know. So, you know, the big radio stations even go through this sometimes. So, you know, we do have a couple hot topics, and I'd like to get Marie's point of view on a few of them. The first one being this database of offshore accounts going live and starting to show people where they've been hiding the money for about the past 6 years.
Wow.
This is what they call the Panama Papers affair.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, they're looking at more than 200,000 offshore accounts that have been posted online. And also, you know, talking about some very influential people, very famous people, political people. But this is really all over the world, you know, from various different places. You know, the source is known to be John Doe, although it's not really yet been determined whether or not this is a male or female, where the source is coming from. And apparently this stuff is legal, although not necessarily ethical, and it really relates to, you know, people of wealth, perhaps trying to get out of claiming income, paying taxes, and the sorts. Kind of what's your viewpoint on that, Aeson? I know you have one.
I do, but I want to hear Marie's.
I just feel like this is just a drop of the bucket where we're going to be getting, you know, unfortunately our privacy is going to be becoming more public, and I feel like when we get into August, I feel like things are, of this year, that things are really going to start rolling out. And this is just, I just feel like this will also not only deal with people with offshore accounts, but also people here in the United States that have so-called private accounts, and I feel like those are going to be made public through the United States government.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah.
It's just like a little stone that just starts rolling, and then it gets bigger and bigger.
Right, and what they're finding is that a lot of these accounts that have now come to public knowledge, there's people that's like closed companies, closed down, you know, major things going, oh, we're broke, we're busted. No, they weren't.
Mhm.
You know, and it's like, that's big trouble when you go into bankruptcy court. So I think you're about right. August we'll start hearing about a lot more other things that are business-related going on.
Now, when you talk about the government, Marie, would you expand on that? What do you mean by that?
I just feel that this is just like the tip of the iceberg, that they're starting with these offshore accounts, and then I feel like it's going to be made. I feel like it'll be moving into just kind of like the regular U.S. citizen, where our so-called private accounts and information it'll be like an open book. And I feel I just get that date of around August and September where it's really going to start influencing a lot more people.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
and we've had that here recently. What was that site that was a dating site for cheaters?
Oh,
yeah.
Ashley Madison.
Ashley Madison, yeah. That brought a lot of interesting reflections to the world, different views of people. And, you know, I value privacy, but at the same time, there's a line, I think, when it comes to privacy. When it comes to, like, your tax responsibilities, you should be honest with it. If you've got $200 million stashed away in the Cayman Islands, then you should pay taxes on it. If you owe, you know, your employees thousands of dollars, well, you should have to pay them.
Yeah, I'm also getting, you know, these people with these offshore accounts. I mean, this is just like not nickel and dime money, and I feel like they definitely have the money to put up front.
Right.
I get still like putting money up front, or it's like protection money, like hush money, like, and they'll put up money, X amount of money, and then they'll be protected for a little bit more longer duration. That's what I get.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's close knit. I get like everybody, all these accounts, everybody knows each other. The names are well known. Right.
And I think that we're going to hear even more about this. The other thing is talking about Canada's wildfires that's been going on.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
You know, some of the stories coming out of there is just heartbreaking, but also so heartwarming.
Well, one of the things that they talked about that they were really grateful for, you know, and of course we know that more than 80,000 people have been evacuated here. You know, a lot of structures were destroyed. At the same time, you know, one of the positive notes that they felt very good about was that hospitals and schools were intact, okay?
Right.
But I think they said that there were, 25,000 structures that had been burnt, and this covered an acreage of somewhere around 620 acres, I believe it was. You know, there's also an estimate of, you know, somewhere, I don't know if it's $1 billion or in the billions, you know, with respect to, you know, the cost of this disaster. Very difficult times, but they're also seeing some positive things coming out of this also.
Yeah, I have to agree on that. I mean, I feel like even though this is a devastating, life-altering situation there in Canada, I do feel like because of this, there's going to be some positive environmental protection, and positive environmental protection laws or programs established on this behalf, and then also job enhancement, and I would not be surprised. Are they using a lot of, because I don't read too much of the like newspaper and things like that, but I also, are they using inmates? Because I get like using more inmates. I wonder if they're using U.S. inmates. Because I get inmates battling fires. I get the use of inmates. That's interesting. That's what's coming through.
Yeah, and I think.
Go ahead.
And I think that we're going to see. I think that this has taught the world some of the major effects of the environment. I mean, we've got some wacky weather coming off of the tail end of El Nino. I mean, Canadians dry. You know, the southern west coast is getting rain now. LA was going through massive drought, even down where you're at, right, Marie? Did you go into that, where you're in that drought area?
Yeah, that's, it's like summer's upon us here in Phoenix, and I've been here for so many years, and and the fires is just kind of like a normal, unfortunately normal every a monthly occurrence here during the summer months, and it's really a shame that we still have to continue to battle things like this.
Right. Well, Mother Nature has always got an upper hand.
An awful lot too.
Yep.
Yeah, California has. I felt it was interesting. The ASPCA went in and done rescues, like getting people's cats and dogs that had gotten left behind, and even pigs. But they had to do it in secret, and I'm like, why do it in secret? If you're going in there to get them, go get them, and let the owners know, hey, we're at your house. We're picking up, Maxie, and we're taking her home to our place.
Right.
You can pick us up then. So I didn't get that, but I do think that this is going to give cities more ideas on what they need to be prepared for. Because if you notice, when I think it was New York that had to be that was under evacuation or getting evacuated, around when the power went out in New York, they had the major blackout and all that, and they had all those traffic jams and stuff. Then we started seeing alternative route signs here in West Virginia being put up, and how to access the interstate different directions and how they can switch out and move lanes and all that. Like the highway that's behind our house is like access A, and another one is access B, so that they can call evacuation routes, because that was a lot of the problems. I think we're going to start seeing more of that pre-planning. Okay, in an emergency, if we've got to evacuate this city, this is how we're going to do it.
Yeah, and and this may be, I don't know if it's completely off task, but remember we have an increase of population in some areas too, okay? And so, of course, as cities have grown, the infrastructure hasn't necessarily kept up with it either. And then you have situations like this, which you and I, Aeson, have talked many times about, making sure that in some way, you always have a preparedness plan, within the home, within the family unit. And so you have an increase in population, infrastructure still not having caught up, and then you have a disaster, not necessarily, but if you do, okay, this is where they find out where the problems are.
Right. This is how they figure it out. Which, if you guys remember in the 60s, we went through this. Not in the 60s, the 40s, when we were doing the hide under your desk because there's a bomb coming thing. I think we're going to see more of those plannings. Now, Marie, you've recently done an interesting event. Tell me about it.
Oh, yeah. Every month I usually do one or several events, and last week I did a glow-in-the-dark party here in Phoenix. And there's a woman here named DJ Roya. Every month she puts on a different themed party. The last one I went to and read for guests was a disco-themed party, and I had the pleasure of going last week, and I had a great time. I get there at 9 o'clock, and I stayed until 2 a.m., even though the alcohol is flowing freely and it is taking effect, quite early. I had a great time reading for people. I do mini readings for guests, and what's a wonderful thing is that over 90% of the people that I read for at these parties and events have never had a reading before by a psychic or a medium.
Wow.
Wow.
So how did this glow in the party affect your readings? I mean, did they give you a small lighted area, or how did that work out?
Well, when I do this these events, for this particular one, it was held at a lounge, and so they had a booth set up, a booth designated for just me. I went and bought those battery-operated candles. I went to the dollar store and got these battery-operated candles for decorations, and I bought a whole handful of glow-in-the-dark neon necklaces and bracelets, and these little spears are really cool. And I put them on my table, and then it was enough light. It really was.
Cool.
There was, and I had a little sign. I put little fluorescent tape around my sign so it would shine a little bit brighter. But yeah, and people, she did this one, DJ Roya, she does great for advertising, letting people know that I'm going to be there beforehand, and I really feel like that's key. And then I just read for the people. They come in. They don't have to do a little sign-up sheet. A lot of them will stop by, find out, how the whole process works. And then I do mini readings, 5 minutes, and then they can extend if they want to. And then I cover the main topics, love, relationships, hot topic, career, relocation, family issues, and everything in between. So it was a great night overall. Yeah, I got a lot of stories.
So what would you consider to be your most fun event that you've ever participated in?
The fun? Wow. That's a great question because each one has a different vibe to it. I've done a lot of charities, fundraisers, and things like that. But the one that, the fetish events, I do fetish events. I've done 3 here in Phoenix. Those are, just totally different environment. They have performers and it's kind of like an adult Halloween. You have to be extremely open-minded, kind of adventurous. The nicest, I also love the parties in Hollywood. I did during Halloween weekend. I did one for Hustler magazine, Maxim magazine, and Playboy. And then I guess some of the saucier ones, and the more. And then I love the swingers party. I want to, I want to do another swingers party. I did a upscale swingers party a couple years ago at this beautiful exclusive resort in Phoenix, and it was just a beautiful party. People were dressed up. We had this, conference tables filled with food and a beautiful balloon drop, and I was my little vendor table they had set up for me was right next to a stone fireplace, so in kind of a darkened bar area. It was beautiful. So yeah, but I think it's the experiences. I think it's the things that the people that I meet that have to be hands down is why I continue doing them, because I meet people from all walks of life and then the events themselves.
Right.
Wow.
With the, do you have a set number of people, a set number of guests? How do event planners get a hold of you? Or do you get a hold of them?
A lot of work. I've been doing events for years, and I do all my PR, my marketing, everything I do. I cannot tell you how many nights I'm up till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, marketing, selling, sending out emails, correspondence, and networking with people. And then I've met a few event coordinators that have these monthly parties, and then I've done one, so I keep going back for different themed nights. And so it's just kind of establishing relationships with them, and they know my name. That I'm legit, I've read for most of them. Yeah, so, and I'm a huge risk taker, and I feel that I could not do this kind of work if I did not take a risk, because I've had a tremendous amount of rejection. I don't want to paint a picture where it's been like so easy for me, and it hasn't. It has been a tremendous amount of rejection. There's a lot of times I do not get emails back, phone calls are not returned. We don't, or emails stating we do not want your kind. People, do not believe, or they have negative reaction to psychic phenomenon, and and that's fine. I respect that. And then I have event coordinators where they welcome me in open arms. So,
yeah. It's interesting that you say that, because one of the things that I was thinking about when you were talking, as you know, a lot of us, who are in the business, oftentimes we do one-on-one events, or we do personal clients. And so sometimes, we often find that we need to have that calmness and not a lot of people around, and keeping ourselves kind of clear. And yet you, aside from, the difficulties that you were talking about, which I can appreciate, you must have found a unique way to be able to come in and balance those energies so that you could go in there and be able to do readings in that kind of an atmosphere, or those various different atmospheres. How do you prepare yourself for that?
I'm a huge proponent and encourage everyone. I'm very deep into prayer, and I do this is me personally. I do a set of novenas every night. It takes me about 15-20 minutes to get through. I do multiple novenas, protection prayers, and I'm into my religious candles. My home looks like a Catholic church when you walk into it, but it is difficult. It is challenging because 9 times out of 10 at these events and parties, there's blaring techno, electronic, country, hip hop, every type of music possible, blaring through megawatt speakers. And I can't tell you how many events I've done where I've actually shouted the messages. And that actually happened last week at the Glow in the Dark party. I was right next to the dance floor. And so I'm shouting, and I tell people I can still bring you messages, but this is not this is not like a quaint little bookstore, or you're not sitting at my kitchen table with me, but I'm still be able to pass it through. So, it's just something I feel like I've gotten used to. I prefer, sometimes the music is incredible, and sometimes I'll actually step out if I have to, and that has happened more than once. But I have laryngitis, and I'm hoarse by the time 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning rolls around. So.
I can imagine. I just had to ask that question because I know this is a common thing for all of us, and I thought you've really got to take some extra steps, I'm sure, to put yourself in the right place to be able to, give your clients, that, good information and be able to cut through so much energy.
It is, and it's intense. And then I'm huge on, self-protection. And I've made my own little healing oil concoction that I keep, and I'll put it on, usually after every person I read for. Every event, that's why I love it, because every event I never know how many people are going to want readings. Sometimes I'll read for one person, and then an hour later, 2 people will show up. Or I've got, all of a sudden, I read for one person, and then after I'm done, they bring 5 friends with them. So I just, it's definitely been one adventure after another.
Question for you, dear. Have you ever had spirit react to you being at the event? Because I can just think of my grandmother coming in the middle of a disco theme going, what the world? Why? You called me from here?
I know. Can you imagine? Because some of the events I do, I've done in my, and I actually wrote a book about my experiences, RSVP from Heaven, and I self-published. I got that done last year, and that's I take readers on this adventure of some of the events that I've participated. But yes, I mean, I took part in a medical marijuana festival, so I'm here and I'm guiding people on their love lives and their finances, and then all of a sudden, one of my favorite stories in the book was connecting a young man at the medical marijuana festival with his older brother that was murdered, and so that still impacts me to this day. But if you can just kind of picture a Mediterranean restaurant, there's a reggae band on stage, and people are drinking and partying, and then here I am having a serious conversation at my table with a young man who, he said the last time I saw my brother, we fought over something really stupid, and he said it's basically what he hadn't forgiven himself, and he wished that he and his brother would have been more close while he was alive, but they lived totally different lives. His brother was very much into living a lifestyle of, crime, and the younger brother, had gone to school and was working, and so total different lifestyles. But it's, and then also, when I was at the swingers party, upscale swingers party, I'm connecting a woman to her brother that was had been in an accident, and giving career advice to these real estate investors. I read for a bank vice president. So I always tell people that people ask me the same questions regardless of what event it's just the environment around me changes, and it can be very subdued and calm, or it can be very. I did a goth party for New Year's Eve a couple years ago also, and that one was, techno industrial music was playing. I was giving readings in a little booth that they had me set up in this little tiny Christmas tree they plugged in for light, and that was about it. So it was all done in black and red. Yeah, so I've had some great experiences. That party, I remember the goth one is because I could not get over the amount of suicides in the spirits that that came forth for the people that I read for. I think it was like 14, 15. I mean, it would seem like every person that I read for had someone around them in spirit that had committed suicide.
Wow. Now, your book is on sale right now, isn't it?
Yes, I just put RSVP from Heaven on Kindle, and it is on sale for $1.99 until Sunday, May 15th.
I loved reading it. It is the best. If you want to know what it's like to really be a psychic, you're out there and you're really wanting to learn and you're working on your cards, you want to know the real life story of a psychic, get this book. It doesn't have the flashiness. It talks about, showing up at a flea market and being accosted, going to this event and making sure to have your lawyer on speed dial. Yeah, I was like, I've been there. I've done that one too. Oh, I've not done that one yet. I need to look into that. So go and check it out. Let's go to break, and when we come back, let's start taking some callers, shall we?
Okay, great.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You'll find us at www.themagichappens.com, your free online magazine.
Are you at a crossroads in your life? Or are you feeling stuck and not sure where to turn? We can help. Visit our website at psychic.biz from your computer, smartphone, or tablet, where you can get accurate readings and insight by speaking with any one of our tested advisors. We offer live chat, video sessions, one-on-one phone calls, and even email readings. We have several gifted psychics, tarot readers, astrologers, and other healers from around the world who are available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Your initial chat is always free, and our psychics do offer special prices and low per-minute rates. Visit us today at psychic.biz and get the guidance you need today for your tomorrow.
You're listening to the Magic Happens Radio Network, sponsored by the Magic Happens magazine. You'll find us at www.themagichappens.com.
So I'm a cat, and I just moved in with this new human, and she's got this little toy she's always playing with, all day long. Tap, 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 bloop, bloop. She can't put it down. There it is. Oh, and get this. She even talks to it. Last week she asked it for Chinese, and guess what? Egg rolls showed up. Like magic. Humans have cool toys.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
Do you have burning questions you need answered? We all do. Visit our website at psychic.biz, where you can find accurate psychics, tarot readers, and astrologers from around the world who are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can have your questions answered anonymously and right from your computer, tablet, or smartphone. The introductory chat is always free, and we offer low per-minute rates and special promotions. Our online psychics offer helpful, practical guidance into what matters most to you. Visit us today at psychic.biz.
And you'll find us at www.themagichappens.com, your free online magazine.
All right, and we're back, and tonight we've got Marie St. Louis with us, and she is going to be doing some readings for you guys. You guys are used to us, so we're going to let her kind of take the seat here and give you some insight and, see what different things are going on. All right. Marie, you still with us?
Yes, I'm still with you.
All right. Okay, then we're going to go to 916. 916, you're on the air.
Hi, thank you. My name is Lindy from Sacramento. Date of birth 7/6/51.
And
Hi,
how can Marie help you?
Well, I'm not feeling well. I'm in a lot of pain. I had my root canal today. Hopefully, all my teeth will be saved. Tooth number 16 is under suspicion, though. And put a deposit down on apartment number 204 that became available unexpectedly. Can't move in until June 25th. So will that be the apartment that we take, number 204, or will another one come up that we like better?
Okay, so, well, I want to thank you for calling in, Lindy. Regarding the apartment 204, it feels like the whole transaction, the whole moving in process, it feels like very slowed down and even at sometimes moves backwards. For some reason, I feel like it's sitting there without much movement. It feels like the people that have this apartment, it feels like they were either rushed to show you this apartment or you felt rushed. I don't know. It feels like they were in a hurry to show it to you. Like, let's get this in and, get you out kind of thing. And
Well, yeah, I haven't seen the apartment at all. I was shown the model apartment, and the interesting thing is, first apartment 196 became available, and I just didn't feel right about that, so I did not put a deposit on it. And then apartment 204, to the left, just like Aeson said did become available, and it's actually a good thing that it's not available until June the 25th. That's helpful. But then I'm going to their website all the time for this apartment, and I see apartment 204 listed as available when I have that deposit on it.
Yeah, I just feel like, wow, it just feels like it's sitting there so empty for so long, and I encourage you to call back. I don't feel like anybody else is interested in that at all, and so I would suggest calling back. And I'll tell you what, I would not be surprised if it takes you more than one time. They're just not getting it. They're just not getting it. You know, like they're not understanding. And does that apartment, it feels like it sets weird, like there's a strange corners to it, or it just feels like it feels twisted. It feels like it's the way it sets is different.
Well,
but
not
also,
according to the map that I saw
go
online.
ahead.
Not according to the map that I saw online.
Okay.
It's kind of in the middle, and it faces inward to the apartment complex, which I like.
Mm-hmm.
And the strange thing is, I'm not making this up, but after I put that deposit on, I was thinking, you know what? It'd be okay with me if we didn't even really move in until July or maybe even early August.
Right.
And the thought occurred to me, what if somehow they rented that out to somebody else by mistake? And I have an email confirming the rent that it's ours with the deposit. And I called the account manager and I spoke to her, and she didn't let on. You know, it's kind of confusing to me that she'd be putting that apartment for rent when it's legally it's ours.
Right. I would definitely. I get you calling back 2 or 3, 4 times, and I feel like this is until your move-in date. And don't. If they do come back and say it's already been rented, this is something about them trying to hurry up and show you another apartment or offer another apartment. Just keep saying no to them. There's some real strange phenomenon going around this apartment, and I do, yeah, and it's not a bad thing. It's just that, like, I don't get any hauntings in it or anything like that. I would pick up on all that, but it's weird because I see the price of the apartment, and you probably don't have access to this, but I get it. Like it goes up $20 and then it goes up to another $40. It feels like from now until August, it's like they're playing around with the rents. So make sure that you're locked in for some reason. And I would wait until after Mercury retrograde, which is the 21st, I believe it is, of May.
Yeah. Well, the apartment is $1,275. All of the 2-bedroom, 2-bath are $1,275. And you are picking up something because she actually called me and she said, would you be interested in apartment number 91? And I looked at, first I was excited, then I looked at the map and it's upstairs and I have a back issue. And it's not the location that I like. So I called her back and I said, no, thank you. And she still tried to interest me in it. And she said,
there's going to be others. There's going to be others. I get number 1882. That could be apartment. It could be 18 or 81 or a combination. There's going to be other ones she's going to try to steer you to. So you're going to have to get to the bottom. I would say get to the bottom of this by the end of this month. And they're playing with rent. They're playing with rent because I see it going up $20 and then it goes up $40, then it goes back. They're playing with rent there.
Well, she sent me an email that lists the rent price, so legally I don't think she can change that.
Once you log in,
But I didn't realize it, but you are hitting on the fact that she really seemed to push for apartment 91, even after I said no thanks.
Mhm.
And I'm not going to take 91, but 188 would probably be a nicer location. So you think that's going to become available?
Yeah, I feel with this situation, I don't get someone who's like eager to go out of their way. So I would be your own little detective, take that map out, go, like walking around the complex.
Mhm.
But it's wild because when I get you in 204, I don't feel like it's like a permanent thing. So make sure, double, triple check and find out what other locations are open.
Yeah. Oh, I'm looking at their website daily, and
okay, good.
She is communicating with me, but I feel uncomfortable with the fact that even after I told her I did not want 91, she still tried to say, "Well, let me show it to you when you drop by again." And
yeah, they're trying to steer you. They're trying to steer you. So I feel like take the map, go for a walk, and I feel like there's other apartments available. It's just that she's holding back on you. I'm saying, we only have 2 available, and when they have like 4 available or 5. So, but
I think you're right.
Yeah.
And so when do you think my sister and I will move in? Do you think it'll be June or July or when?
I get more of a middle to late June for the move.
Okay, so it'll be
I get you
time.
smiling, and I get you smiling because you did the legwork, not because of the leasing broker, whatever the person is. I get you. It's kind of like you outsmarted them.
Well, I don't know what walking around the apartment would do for me, though, because, I wouldn't know if another one's available or not by looking at the outside.
Mm-hmm. But I feel like there's others available. So, but 204, I feel like if you go there, it just feels temporary to me. It just feels. I don't get staying there 2, 3, 4, 5 years. I don't get that.
Huh.
So,
and is there something wrong there?
No, I'm not getting that it's wrong. I just feel like it's like you got your heart set on it, and but there's just I don't get a warm fuzzy from that apartment in you.
Yeah.
I don't get this like I found. Yeah, it's kind of like okay, we'll just go here, and this is just be temporary.
Yeah, it's not that I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I don't get that, but you'll be fine.
But the apartment that we move into, will my sister and I stay there for several years and be safe and comfortable?
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I get safe and comfortable.
Okay, and I haven't heard anything yet from the employers that I've been applying to, so I really, really, really hope that I'll be able to keep my financial end of the bargain by a job opening up and so I can meet my rent.
Yeah, you'll be fine. I don't get any kind of like lack or worrying like, oh my gosh, is the electric bill going to be paid next month? I don't get any of that. So
okay.
Yeah, and also there's something about the parking space that is assigned to that apartment. For some reason, I get people used to parking wherever they want to park at that apartment complex. And it feels like they're cracking down. Like I get like this just started within like 3 or 4 months ago. Like they started cracking down on where people can park.
Yeah. Well, it's a good parking place because it's right outside the front door. But you did pick up the fact that it's not that I'm thrilled about it. I'd be more excited about apartment number 188.
Yeah. Well, you'll do really well with it, honey. I agree with Marie. Okay?
All right.
Well, thank you for calling in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So let's take, let's do 646.
646.
Hi, how are you guys?
I'm doing
good.
fine.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. I have a question in regards to a health issue. It's not major, but I have a hernia, okay? My doctor has prescribed over-the-counter antacid, I'm saying it wrong, to assist with the hernia, because what it does is that it causes a lot of acid reflux, but I've been on the medication now for like a little bit over 2 weeks. It seems like it's working. So my question is, should I exercise or just like wait for it to go away?
All right. So first of all, when I do anything that's related to medical, I always state that I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not a professional medical. So,
okay.
But I'll pass on what I'm getting. I feel like by July, July is like a great month where you're going to feel like it's like you're brand new again. Like your whole health is going to improve in July.
Okay, that sounds good.
And I love when we get into July, I love the 8th, 9th, 10th, and especially the 11th of July. Do you do any, like, swimming at all? Like any, I don't get, like, doing laps like Michael Phelps, but, I mean, I get something more like, you know how what is that, water aerobics, like kind of like stretching and, like, slow movements in water. I get that in July. And also with exercise, I just get like very slow movements. I get slow movements, like things that people would kind of like roll their eyes out, like, oh, okay, you know, stretch, you know, like stretch to the left, stretch to the right, you know, it's not like you're going to be training for the Ironman, you know, in Hawaii. So just something, just soft, put some soft music on, and just, I get like stretching.
Well, should I get physical therapy for this, or should I? Because I asked my doctor. He said, no, you shouldn't go to physical therapy. Just keep taking the Galveston every night, and it'll, you know, it's a slow process, but it'll clear up. Those are his exact words.
Well, you know, listen to your doctor, and then also listen to your own gut feeling, you know, your own psychic ability, what's going on. I just get like slow movement. I don't get anything like physical therapy around you. I'm not getting that at all. I mean, if he recommends it, yes, I mean, but I don't get like heavy duty physical therapy. I get more like stretching, slow movements, and then I get July, I get more focus on some kind of water activity. I get real slow, like Tai Chi or something like that. I just get real slow in movement.
Yeah. Okay. And I have one more other question for you now. I know you're not a doctor, but what about my digestive system? I was told to take, well, a friend of mine, well, actually I read online that Zypin actually helps with the acid reflux. I mean, if I don't have to take it, I would just take what the doctor's prescribing me, but I don't know. Would that be a good idea to take something that's called Zypin?
I get does they have you on a very, like, low, barely there dosage?
Which
like
of the Zypin or the
I get the with the stomach. I get with whatever
stomach,
your
you're
medication.
talking about it's an acid reflux. I'm sorry, it's an
I
acid
get very low, minimal, barely there dosage.
It's 40 milligrams. Yeah.
It's like you're trying to maintain. Maintain a balance and a coating in the stomach area. Yeah, I don't get that. And then, do you have a habit of like drinking? Like, if you glass of water or some kind of juice, you only drink like so much, and then it's like you don't drink the rest, and then you get a fresh one like an hour later.
Yeah, you know what? She told me to drink a lot of water, but now I'm drinking more of room temperature water. Hot tea.
Okay, because I keep getting this vision of you like getting like a glass of water or juice and you only drink so much, and then it's like you pour it out and then like minutes later you fill it back up. It's like you never finish your drinks and then get a fresh one that comes in really strong around you.
You know what I normally do? Okay, I drink water every day, so I always buy a gallon of water. And I normally drink it all. I don't drink the whole entire gallon, but I do drink at least 6 to 8 cups a day or more.
Okay. Yeah, that's really strong. And then what's with the chair that you sit in? There's like this big chair that you sit in, like kind of a lumpy chair.
You know what?
Like,
it's a bed. It has like a bunch of pillows, so it could be. Someone did recommend that it could be my sleeping, the way I sleep too. I just ordered
chair. I get that chair kind of lumpy. It's got this story. There's is there like some kind of a family story with that chair? Like, was it passed on from a family member? It's like a chair that you don't want to get rid of, but it's real. To me, when I sit in it, it feels lumpy. Like it feels lumpy in the back.
I have a cheap chair. It's kind of lumpy, but I bought it for like $10, brand new.
And I get like the chair's not helping you either. But
no, it's not.
I feel like this is slow progress with your health issues, and then I get like by July, right when we finish after the first week in July, I just get like so much better with health. Okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
You're so very welcome, and I hope you're feeling better.
Okay,
Have a wonderful evening.
Okay. Well, guys, we've kind of come to the end. So, thank you, Marie, for joining us. I hope you come back.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, honey, you let me know when you want to come back, and you just join us for coffee table anytime. We love hearing your stories and having you read for our guests. And, you guys, go get her book. Go get her book. You can't beat it. It's an awesome read. I done a review on it on our YouTube channel. And how do they get a hold of you for private readings? Because you're not a network reader.
Yeah, website is Marie, and then the last name is spelled out St. Louis, SaintLouis.com. And yes, in June, I would love to come back, like maybe, a month or so. I'm going to be at the South Scottsdale Festival of the Arts, and there's nonstop bands playing until 2 a.m. at this really funky Vietnamese restaurant. And then I'm working on being at a rockabilly festival on June 25th, be at a psychic fair here in Phoenix on June 12th. So, yeah, every month I just try to have a few little events I'm going to and writing my second book.
Yeah, and I can't wait for it to come out.
Beautiful.
Well, thank you. Yeah, lots of work, but it's fun.
Yep.
I meet people that, they touch my life so much, and through reading and helping others, you learn about yourself. It's a wonderful experience.
Yep, it is, honey. Well, good night.
Well, good night.
Raine, good night, Raine. You have a great evening.
Bye, Raine.
Goodbye, Marie. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Are you at a crossroads in your life? Or are you feeling stuck and not sure where to turn? We can help. Visit our website at psychic.biz from your computer, smartphone, or tablet, where you can get accurate readings and insight by speaking with any one of our tested advisors. We offer live chat, video sessions, one-on-one phone calls, and even email readings. We have several gifted psychics, tarot readers, astrologers, and other healers from around the world who are available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Your initial chat is always free, and our psychics do offer special prices and low per-minute rates. Visit us today at psychic.biz and get the guidance you need today for your tomorrow.
You're listening to the Magic Happens Radio Network, sponsored by the Magic Happens magazine. You'll find us at www.themagichappens.com.